what are the next steps, or what do you suggest for WHRC attendees? So just...
Well, obviously I've published a book, so I'm promoting my book. So if you guys want to support me, just go online and look it up just by the title. I'm planning to work a lot more with women's campaigning organisations. The most recent one is Keep Prisons Single Sex. She's actually producing a website page for Australia, I believe. This is her Spinster account, and those are my designs, and they're on t-shirts and mugs. And so you can buy that merchandise to support that very, very well-worthy organisation, run by this one woman on a shoestring. So yeah, please do support that organisation. You can regularly see my cartoons at the following websites: uncancelled.co.uk, Uncommon Ground Media, and Women Are Human. So those three websites are all regularly featuring my cartoons, my illustrations. So you can see them there, and also on Spinster. I'm quite active on Spinster. Oh, that's my latest cartoon about yeah, Biden painting America pink and blue. Hope you like that cartoon. Yeah. So, what advice would I give attendees? I would say, obviously, keep on supporting all the women's campaigns. Only yesterday, an amazing film called Dysphoria came out on YouTube. 4-part film by Vaishnavi Sundar. She's been making that film for over a year. That's a wonderful film to watch on YouTube, Dysphoria. So watch that. And the only other thing I would like to say is, don't be afraid to reach across the aisle to women from conservative backgrounds. You know, they are not the evil empire. They are women the same as us. They suffer the same as us. Their children are suffering the same as, you know, any other women. And we are in a kind of limbo. You know, the left has left us. The left has abandoned us. Now, it doesn't mean we can't I still call myself a communist, you know. Doesn't mean we can't still call ourselves of the left, but the left as an entity has abandoned us. And I'm quite happy to work with women who have different views on things like gun control or the environment. That doesn't bother me at all, as long as they're on page with protecting women's rights and women's safe spaces, and fighting against this madness, this trans ideology, which is, I mean, you know, it is just nonsense and madness.
I will continue to build real life activism through public meetings, raising money to bring different speakers to Brisbane, and rallies. I will also encourage and support young women to become more involved in activism and to run skills-based workshops that will assist women to become politically involved who haven't been previously. I'd like to further the work that we've begun in Australia in collaborating across the states, where, you know, we have regular contact between a number of women in different states. And that's been inspirational, it's been heartening, and it reduces the sense of political isolation. So I really want that to continue. And finally, I want to work with women and men I know in the Labor Party and the Greens who do not go along with genderism. They'll say it to you privately, but they won't do it publicly, and they won't yet organise within their parties to have, you know, a feminist caucus. I know a lot of these women and men, and they've said lots of stuff to me, but they still are not prepared to raise it publicly within their parties, especially the Labor Party. Is important to get those people to speak up and to organise within their party. They're the things that I'll do.
I think, well, I'll continue to speak to people and make presentations and push back against the use of puberty blockers in children particularly. And actually I was speaking to a specialist at work who's involved in all this, and he actually does the prescribing. But he said to me, look, Louise, it's good that you are pushing back, because he said all the pushing I see, all the pushing that seems to be coming from the other side. So I seem to be the first one that had really confronted him over it. And I think just more people just need to be braver. We all need to be speaking out. And the people that do, like any journalist that does write about this, if they can get this into the mainstream press, we really need to support them and make sure they're recognised. They're recognised for their courage. Yeah, because it takes courage and moral fibre to stand up against this. And I think it's going to turn around. The results of that survey was very heartening. Denial of reality will only last so long. I hope we really learn from this as a society how this can happen, and it's not healthy for things to be out of bounds and to not talk about serious issues that affect this, particularly when the health of our children is being affected. So keep talking, just keep talking.
I think the important thing if you're in New Zealand is to email the Minister of Internal Affairs, Jan Tinetti. She's a former member of the National Executive at NZEI. She's a school principal. She's a really smart person, and she's probably our best hope for getting consultation, at least, on the Births, Deaths, Marriages and Relationships Registration Bill that contains the sex self-ID provisions. And at the very least, maybe some kind of supplementary order paper to put something in that says none of this will derogate from, women's rights as per the Human Rights Act, something like that. So the bill's up for its second reading in February, and we've just got to fight like hell until then. But I would just echo what other people have said, be brave, I mean, it's not that much fun getting ostracized. It's not that much fun having to stand up to bullies like Paul Golter of NZEI. But on the other hand, you can kind of, sleep at night. Well, I had to get some medication to do that in the end, but you can look at yourself in the mirror, and you know that you're not one of these cowards putting pronouns in your bio and pretending that you actually believe men can become women. I mean, it takes a bit of courage to do that, and that's something you can feel good about. And there's a lot of us will support you. So join Speak Up for Women, join Women's Liberation, Aotearoa. And, hands across the aisle, as people say, conservative women are women. They're not stupid. A lot of them are really good feminists. And don't let anyone put you down for that, because there's a lot of bullshit comes from men on the left about that. So, yeah, just stand up for ourselves. That's my advice. And contact your member of parliament, always.